Real quickly before we begin, I want to thank this video's sponsor, carmarshal.com. Carmarshal.com can save you lots of money on buying used or new vehicles, cars, trucks, school buses. If you want to save money, I'll have a link in the description down below. I know I'm going to...
Wow, everyone needs to do this. For the Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Prummell and Punta Gorda Police Pamela Davis and all government agencies. It's time for you to find out how corrupt your government really is. Former Northport Commissioner received almost 2,500 records for free. By Lauren Coffey. Staff writer. Northport the last 2 years brought in roughly 2,800 records requests for the Northport City Clerk's office. Almost all of them were for former Northport City Commissioner Cheryl Cook, almost all of them were free. It is completely legal to make the requests. However, the clerk's office is now working to hire 2 more employees to keep up with the huge amount of records requests which are mainly from Cook. Rules. The city's rule is any request that takes less than 15 minutes to be completed will be free. Once it hits 30 minutes, the clerk's office will charge for half the 15 minutes and the other 15 minutes are free. That fee is based on the lowest salary of the person capable of doing the job, often around $14 per hour. If someone were to make multiple requests and each one took less than 15 minutes, the person requesting the documents would receive all those for free. Of the 1,300 requests made for fiscal year 2016 to 2017, Cook made 1,117 of those requests. For that work, she paid $44.80. Out of the 1,500 requests made in fiscal year 2017 to 2018, which ends in October, around 1,300 of those requests were Cook's. She's paid no fees for this fiscal year, but the clerk's office sent her 2 invoices totaling $567.07 as of April 30, according to records obtained by The Sun. The fact that you have individuals becoming super users of this resource is not something the legislature considered, said Mark Fenster, a University of Florida law professor who focuses on government transparency. She's using a loophole in the law intended to help small-time users, but she's a super user. She's clearly very savvy on the subject. It's ironic. The time limit was 30 minutes before Cook, then a commissioner, rallied to change the rule to the current standard in 2015. During her tenure, she also attempted to make the rule so one entity could only make 1 records request per day. That rule was quickly changed after staff realized it was illegal. It's ironic that Ms. Cook's activities are an extreme of what she took issue with when she was on the commission, Vice Mayor Linda Yates, who served on the commission with Cook, said in an email. Since she knows she can avoid paying fees for the staff time she is consuming by breaking up her requests into small pieces to stay under 15 minutes for each, that is what she does. Cook declined the Sun's repeated attempts at request for comment via phone and text. While City Clerk Patsy Adkins said records requests in general have increased as the city has grown to 70,000 residents, she agreed Cook took it to a new level. For now we've decided to continue to fulfill those requests, but it's certainly ironic when people do it that way because it ends up taking more time, Northport spokesperson Josh Taylor said. Reasonable amount of time. When Fenster was practicing law in Northern California, one of the first cases his firms worked on was very similar to what is happening with Cook in Northport. A man, upset that the county was putting a parking lot at a trail near his property, began to have his lawyers bombard the system with records requests. Frankly, they wanted to raise the costs of the decisions and prove it would be easier to not put the parking lot there, he said. What I learned from that is the unintended consequence of providing this right may have some effect on government, that you think is doing the right thing. The clerk's office has been dealing with those unintended consequences by trying to keep up with the numerous demands. Until February, the office was several months behind for keeping minutes of city commission meetings. An employee was hired in February and now the office is completely caught up with minutes, to the relief of Adkins. They are in the works of hiring 2 employees who would serve as dedicated record technicians. As of now, 3 employees help with records. Florida law dictates record requests need to be filled within a reasonable amount of time. With 50 to 150 requests from Cook, 15 minutes each, that is a full-time job, Commissioner Jill Luke said. It truly is, so we ended up having to increase our staff, which is taxpayer money, in order to accommodate these requests. Cook calls police. According to public records, Cook believed the city clerk's office was not fulfilling those requests in a timely manner, so she filed a complaint with Northport Police Department. According to the report, the complaint was filed on March 20. Cook reportedly told investigators that she had been speaking with State Attorney Ed Brodsky, who allegedly advised her to file the complaint with the police. However, when contacted by the police, Brodsky said he never spoke with Cook, was unaware of her complaint and did not advise her on the situation. Northport Police closed the investigation April 4, stating Cook's complaint was unfounded. She responded she will bring the case to the State Attorney's Office and the Attorney General's Office. Right for requests. All 5 of the commissioners said while the huge increase of requests from Cook is taking up staff time and therefore taxpayer money, none of them necessarily want to limit her. I think every citizen has a right for requests, Commissioner Chris Hanks said. To have one citizen have so much, it's a little overbearing, but she has a right to do it. We don't have a right to keep her from it, which I wouldn't anyway. This commission is all about transparency. Luke has repeatedly suggested in meetings to have multiple requests be bundled into one, therefore making the request cost money. I think if someone sends 5 requests in a week, that's 1 a day, that's not too bad, if it's only 15 minutes, she said. But when you're sending 50, it should be considered time-wise as 1 email. Especially when it's wanting all commissioners' email or travel, it's the same topic, it might be different people but it's the same topic. However, City Attorney Amber Slayton said doing so would be tricky in a legal sense. There is no clear legal precedent for requests, she said. There's no language that addresses bundling language. It doesn't say whether you can or can't. Could we bundle? We could make both arguments, but we don't know what the precedent is until it's in place. Since the Sunshine Law in Florida regarding open records is one of the more loose ones in the nation, it will continue to have its pros and cons, according to Fenster. For the most part I think they're wonderful, but like all laws they have some adverse effects, Fenster said. You have a bunch of competing ideas: good government and open government. It would be wonderful if they could operate without tension at all times, but sometimes it doesn't. Email, lcoffee@sun-herald.com. The fact that you have individuals becoming super users of this resource is not something the legislature considered. She's using a loophole in the law intended to help small-time users, but she's a super user. She's clearly very savvy on the subject. Mark Fenster, University of Florida law professor.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.